When we talk about high frequency, when people say that, right? When they're saying like raise your energy, raise your frequency, everything's made of energy. We're talking about love, superconscious love, gratitude, kindness, compassion. There's just so I mean, there could be more these days. There could be more, but with so much division and so much finger pointing and so much fear mongering and fear clickbait and all of that, it's just we're moving in the wrong direction if we move that way. And that's why if I can get people to vibrate at a higher frequency of everything that I just mentioned, it's infectious, it's contagious, people feel that it's energy, it's energy. And so that is my job. So I can use astrology, I can use tarot, I can do channeling, but at the core of any message that I put out there, it is to inspire and to empower and for people to vibrate at a high frequency and help them understand what energy is and know that this is a year of consciousness. And that's something that I always try to remind people: go do something different. Go shake things up, expand your consciousness, because we're going to be at a time where you're going to see a lot of things that you've never seen in your lifetime. And you already have. We already have. From January 2025 forward, we've seen so many things we've never seen. Have you ever lived through a tariff war? No. Have you ever seen mysterious orbs come out of the ocean all over the world? No. That's nothing. That's nothing compared to what is about to happen. Nothing. But that's why this is great, because we're in this place where things are changing. I'm not, listen, that you can, a 10-year-old kid on the block can tell you that. We can see it. There's changes that are happening. And I do have to say that, whether it's channeling, whether it's through astrology, whether it's even through tarot, whatever it is, right? Or even the cycles, right? We're currently going through 12 different cycles right now. The end of 12 cycles, the beginning of 12 new ones. And I don't think anyone's ever talked about this. So I'm happy to talk about this, but
Please.
this is all expanding your consciousness. You're going to see things you've never seen, experience things you've never experienced, but it's your consciousness is going to expand. And when we do that, we have a lot more capacity to reach 4D, to vibrate at this new frequency, this new timeline, this new energy that we're all excited for. But in order to get there, we're going to have to break some things down to have that breakthrough. That's how everything works, okay? And when I say things that we have never experienced, you have to, everyone has to understand, we know 5% of our oceans, right? We know 5% of our observable universe, 5% of what's inside the earth, right? 10% of our brains. There's a lot out there. Those numbers are going to kick up this year. We're going to know 7, 8, 9, 10%. And that's what I'm saying, because we have the tendency to reject the unfamiliar, right? A tendency to fear the unfamiliar. But if we can start expanding our consciousness now, cakewalk. It's a cakewalk. You're like, oh, UFO? Okay, cool, great. We've been waiting for you. Instead of people like, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, you mentioned that actually when you got into all of this and started putting your channel together, you had the year 2025 in mind. I mean, this episode will be coming out late May 2025. You said this period brings the biggest paradigm shift of an entire century astrologically. I mean, you've got predictions you want to share as well. What's happening right now that makes you say this year of consciousness, the biggest paradigm shift of a century, you committing yourself to sharing yourself so abundantly for this particular year at this moment in time? Bring us into your world.
Absolutely. Yeah, 1000%. Okay, so here's the thing, Amrit. All right. There's If you want to look at it from an astrological perspective, yes, there's a lot of things changing, right? So what's really happening is we started going through a once in a lifetime rare planetary alignment. It was all over that 0 degree point in, between Pisces and Aries, right? That started, let's just say mid-March, okay? And so I call that a big wave. That was a big wave that kind of just kicked things off. And so we're at the end of that wave, moving into this great new era. Now, what's happening this year? Well, we got all planets changing signs. Not normal. Yeah? You take out the personal planets, which is like the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus. You've got all the outer planets changing signs in such a compact, compressed period of time that has not ever happened in forever in modern human history. But you throw in Jupiter too, that's 5 planets. So those are big cycles. So nobody on Earth has experienced this, okay? We can make the argument no one, dead or alive, in modern human history has experienced this, all right? It's been a really long time since Saturn and Neptune have been together in Aries, right? That's been over, 300 years. We haven't had Pluto in Aquarius in 250 years. We haven't had Uranus in Gemini in 84 years. So these are big cycles, right? But they're all happening at this convergence point that is, you really, really have to go way, 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 way back to see it just like the chances of them happening all right now is very rare. But the big thing is, what did I say earlier, was that 0 degree Aries point. So that's what we call the creator degree, or you can call it the world axis. It's basically new beginnings, right? The 0 degree of Aries, which is the beginning of the beginning. Astrology wouldn't even exist without Aries. It's the first sign. So we're everything's moving past that. And Saturn Neptune, they're going to have a conjunction in Aries in February 2026, which we're calling like the Great Reset. There's changes that's moving up to 2026, but in the meantime, Saturn and Neptune are gonna be together. They're gonna be, I say they're in the same room. They're on the dance floor, right? At a house party. They haven't met. Yeah, they're dancing to Madonna. They're back to back. They're feeling the same vibes. All of that. They're gonna meet February 2026, and when that happens, you can't trace that back in modern human history. It probably happened maybe 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 years ago. Who knows? I don't have the time to look, right? I had enough time to look back to just see, did any of this happen in modern human history? Nope. Oh, okay, great. Now, this is happening also at the same time that we're at solar peak maximum. If you want to throw in these cycles, right? So that's an 11-year cycle. So we're here. You've seen what's been happening with the solar flares, making headline news, power outages, power grids. Even when, here's the thing, when this happens, when you see the aurora borealis, right, the northern lights, in places like Florida, in places where, maybe some glossy magazines like, go look at, it's actually not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's showing our magnetic field is weakening. It's weakening really. So that's another thing. And we're still going to go through that. We're still going to be through peak maximum. And then there's a 12,000-year cycle that we're kind of going through. And I'm not going to bring that up because someone else probably already did on your channel. But yeah, it does have something to do with pole shifts, right? And then we have the Kali Yuga. I'm sure people on your channel have talked about that. That's more Vedic, and that's, the 4 yugas. We're at the end of the Kali Yuga. That's a rebirth. That's spirit of consciousness. That is the era of consciousness. And so everything that's overlapping that has to do with these cosmological cycles, these astrological cycles, these geophysical cycles, they're all happening right now.
Hey there, Inspired Evolutionary. If you absolutely loved this, well then here's a full conversation with this guest on the Inspired Evolution podcast. Check it out now.